Stay, Chris. Stay. Or you can duck under if you like.
And the first team to leave their dressing room for the match that all London wants to see is 3rd Division Crystal Palace. Fresh from their victory at Leeds in the last round, Peter Taylor just going through there. They are first out, and the captain, Ian Evans, will come at the back. That's superstition. He's just at the end of the row. Alan Whittle there as well. And they're going to be welcomed by the biggest crowd inside Stamford Bridge for some 3.5 years. And from the other dressing room, Chelsea's young captain, 19-year-old Ray Wilkins, leads his side onto the field. Ron Harris goes through. Young Steve Wicks, only 19, a mixture of youth and experience. And Chelsea must have forgotten what it's like to run out in front of this sort of support. That stand on the far side has been a white elephant for so long, but today the whole circus has very definitely come to town. Eddie McCready named his Chelsea team shortly before the kickoff, and it shows that 19-year-old Steve Wicks is preferred at number 6 to David Hay, and at number 10, Ken Swain gets the shirt that would have been worn by the now retired Ian Hutchinson, about whom Eddie McCready had some words to say, I gather, before the players left the dressing room. Number 11, Bill Garner, made a late recovery from flu, and Chelsea have decided to risk him. The Crystal Palace team is the one that won at Leeds. The only survivor there from the side which last played Chelsea in the Cup some 5 years ago is number 2, Peter Wall, and his role in the Palace defence today could be more than interesting. Ron Harris, a survivor of the Chelsea team that last played Palace in the Cup, and of course the Chelsea captain when they won the trophy in 1970. And as Palace in the white prepare to kick off, the crowd inside the ground approaching 50,000, and people still making their way through the turnstiles. Chelsea in the blue, playing from right to left. The pitch is good, although it may get heavy. And here's Ian Britton, number 7 for Chelsea. Wilkins, wide for Gary Locke. It's down the line for Swain. Now Garner and Evans. And already an interesting tactical development here. Chelsea look as if they're playing 2 wingers. Did well. Wilkins still down the right if he needs him, but he's got Locke coming through. The nearest we've been to a goal, and the nearest that Gary Locke will come without scoring. That was Droy, and as Mayback goes in, a foul on the goalkeeper. Wicks and Swindlehurst. Now Whittle and Locke. Whittle so dangerous and going over Mickey Droy there, who's penalised. Panetti checking that his wall is in the right position. Palace with 3 men to come in from this side. Peter Taylor again on the ball. Evans. Well, Palace got him in. Little dissent going on between Evans and Ron Harris, but there was no doubt about who was first to the ball. Jeffries. And again, Palace building well. Here's Whittle. It was Cook who won it back for Chelsea, just the 2 up front ahead of him. One of them is Maybank. Now Harris. Britton. Locke. Chelsea with 8 men pushed forward in this attack. Still Locke. Swain to Cook. Good challenge by Whittle and brought away by Chatterton, and Peter Taylor is onside. Being joined now by Chatterton square, but Taylor goes alone and goes well. Oh, it hit the bar! Chatterton's there! Chatterton raises his arms in delight. The Palace supporters celebrate, but all the credit to Peter Taylor. Taylor, who was on the break there, prepared to take them on, went round the back, got a shot at it, crashed against the underside and seemed to come out, and Nicky Chatterton did the rest. So Palace get the all-important first goal 10 minutes before half-time. And Chelsea might well reflect, and I'm sure Malcolm Allison will think so too, that was the first time Palace have really looked dangerous. Troy. Chelsea were doing more of the attacking before the goal, but they've got to do even more than that now, and not get caught on the break again. Here's the man that did it, Peter Taylor. Swindlehurst is to the right, and Whittle to the left. In support, Wall. Chatterton, the goal scorer. Cook. Although they play two wingers, Chelsea haven't really got to the dead ball line yet. That was Wilkins who fell, and Whittle who benefited. Swindlehurst going through the middle. Here's Taylor again, and Palace now is stretching Chelsea. Chatterton's going inside again, there he is. On again for Taylor. Well, this man may well have won the tie in the space of 2 minutes. Just look at the joy on the Palace faces. Peter Taylor takes Chelsea apart, and Malcolm Allison raises the hat. Taylor this time, the scorer himself, although again he made it really. Brought it inside, got the return from Chatterton, and that low left foot shot beat Vanetti. And still the fighting going on the terraces. Still the fighting going on the terraces. What a shame that the crowd have spoilt this, because Palace are playing some football now. And the half-time whistle goes. We still don't know the full extent of that crowd trouble behind one goal, but it's pretty bad in places, you can see from that. But no doubt at all what's happening on the field. Third Division Crystal Palace have snatched 2 goals at the most important time. Peter Taylor making them both, scoring one himself, and Chelsea with it all to do in the second half. Back on the pitch, Chelsea with 2 goals to make up, playing in the second half from left to right. And my word, what a cup tie this is going to be if they can get back in the hunt. 2-0 the score by which Chelsea beat Palace, the reverse scoreline when they last met in the Cup 5 years ago here at Stamford Bridge. Wilkins comes to Britton, that was a good ball. Garner's coming in, and Evans doing very, very well as Garner came in behind him. Driven again, that was for Wicks. Garner, And Hammond almost surprised to find the ball in his arms. Swindlehurst holding things up until he got support from Hinchelwood. Now Whittle looking for Taylor, and again he was in a little bit of space, was Peter Taylor, more than Chelsea can afford to give him. It's a beautiful cross, Hinchelwood! Martin Hinchelwood so very, very close to number 3, but Peter Taylor again was the man. Chatterton just turning away from Britton before he was fouled. What a match Chatterton's had. He scored 2 last week against Swindon, and he's made 1 and scored 1 this afternoon. Evans, number 6, a target. Here's Jump. Taylor. Taylor again. And again. Oh, what power in that one. He's just as good with either foot as Peter Taylor, left or right. The left again there, just like the one that scored the goal. Maybank gets the better of Wall. Evans breaking well out of defence. Just look at the ground he's covered, the big man. And Droy sliding across, but now Whittle. Droy has gone down, in fact. Jump moves forward. This intelligent play by Palace. Look at the way the defenders are coming into the attack. Jump number 5. Still Chelsea down to 10 fit men. Droy nursing an injury, and Pat Partridge stops the game for that reason. Looks as though that could be the elbow. A worrying time for the Chelsea chairman, Brian Mears, at the end of the front row, just taking a light from the lady next to him, Mrs. Mears. Michael Caine is next to Mrs. Mears on the front row in the spectacles. And so Mickey Droy leaves the field, and David Hay, who's played, of course, in the biggest cup of them all, the World Cup for Scotland, but hasn't had a happy time since he came to Chelsea just afterwards, gets a chance to return to the action wearing the number 12. Ronnie Harris. Palace really haven't given the Chelsea front players any scope at all. And Stuart Jump, who was penalised there, has played as well as anybody. Good save. The closest Chelsea have been. Garner got to the near post, and no wonder Chatterton pats Paul Hammond on the head, because that was a good reflex save, protecting Palace's 2-goal lead. Once the hands warmed there by Hinchelwood on a bitterly cold afternoon. This time away by Cannon. Here's Harris. Wilkins! They're appealing for offside, but it won't be given. Wilkins has scored for Chelsea. Just the goal they wanted to get back in the fight, and it comes from the 19-year-old skipper and sends the shed wild. Knocked back in again by Ronnie Harris, and Wilkins, seizing his chance, really lashed that one past Hammond. One or two Palace defenders thought there was a player offside there, but the linesman and referee went straight back to the centre, and now what a cup tie we've got. Can Chelsea do what Palace did in the first half and put the second one to the first? Britton, who's kept Chelsea going in the middle of the field, finding Locke. Whittle has tracked him back. Here's Hay. That's a good-looking ball. Maybank, Garner! And at last, with David Hay now on the field, Chelsea are beginning to find one or two gaps that didn't seem to be there in the first half. Swain. Maybank trying to turn his man. The jump finds Whittle. David Hay, a little unlucky, I think, there. But the referee, in fact, overrules the flag until it is a Chelsea throw. Marvellous atmosphere now inside the ground. Hay and Wicks have pushed up for the corner to support Garner in the air. Wicks! Oh yes! What a moment for the 19-year-old defender, he can't believe it! Steve Wicks has equalised. In his first season, he gets a goal he'll never forget. The corner from the right, Wicks up at the far post, and it's 2-2. This has got to be one of the comebacks of cup football. Chelsea looked dead and buried at 2-0 at half-time, and now it's anybody's match. David Hay, who's made so much difference, wins a free kick. And what you can't predict is who's going to win this place in the last 8. We're back where we started. And just listen to this crowd. The goal coming in the 72nd minute. And Eddie McCready and Brian Mears, the chairman in the stand there, must be absolutely delighted, as much as Malcolm Allison on the other side of the gangway must at this moment feel deflated. Well played, Wall, Whittle, David Hay thundering in, definitely a foul. Few words too between Hay and Whittle. And a few words from Pat Partridge. A tribute to the referee and to the players that in this rip-roaring atmosphere, the game has stayed clean and controlled. Palace looking for the set-piece move again. Evans comes in. Just jumped, they'd left back. There's nobody offside. It's an awkward bounce, but Benetti didn't get it. Cannon came in and hooked away by Ronnie Harris. Whittle now. Knocked off the ball by Bill Garner. Foul. Somber faces again on the Palace side of the stairs there. Brian Mears still smoking, as he tends to do throughout the match. I don't think either chairman would mind a replay here in the financial position the two clubs find themselves. And it's a replay we're faced with if nobody scores again. But how can you predict that the way this match has gone? The pressure is back on Chelsea and on Peter Benetti to get his wall right. Whittle standing in it. Taylor! Oh, what a goal by Peter Taylor! And what a one-man performance. He's making this for Palace. And no wonder Malcolm takes the hat off again. Palace are back in front. Taylor's second, their third. Swindlehurst ran over the ball, and Taylor coming in behind, chipped beautifully past Benetti. 13 minutes from the end, and now it's Chelsea 2, Palace 3. Palace dwelling a little on the ball, being hustled by Chelsea, and particularly by Maybank. Now by Hay. He's won some good ball as David Hay since he came on. But this is Swindlehurst. Good try. Awkward one, that. Bouncing not very far in front of Benetti. Palace have really made it hard for Chelsea these last 10 minutes to get in the important area of the field, and there it is. Third Division Crystal Palace are in the last 8. And the man that put them there was Peter Taylor, scorer and maker of the first half goals, and then after a marvellous Chelsea recovery to 2-2, producing that beautiful goal from the free kick, which was good enough in the end to win the tie. And the London derby that lived up to all expectations ends with a scoreline of Chelsea 2, Crystal Palace 3.